Well, good morning to you. I am Dalia, along with Julia, Carlos, and Lindsay, back with an extra shot of sunrise on what will be maybe one of the better days of the week.
Yeah, I mean, I guess part of it maybe. So we're definitely going to be warmer here, but you know, this time of year that always can lead to storms, and that's exactly what we have, it looks like, tonight.
We got a couple good hours, and we got a couple really bad hours, depending on what time you have to be out and about for today. So starting at 10 o'clock this morning, everybody is going to be under this wind advisory that runs through 10 o'clock tonight. We've got 45 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts possible today. So that's going to be what's responsible for ushering in this major warming trend as we return back into the upper 70s. So make sure you have garbage cans that are out and about. Make sure they are secured. We could also see some tree branches coming down with that strong of wind. Could cause some isolated power outages, so something just to be prepared for today. Yes, it will be warm, but it will be windy, and it's not going to last. This is the severe risk as we get into the evening tonight. Storm Prediction Center has everyone in the green highlight under level 1. And then places like Bloomington to Bedford, that's a level 2 in the yellow highlight. And that's where we have a slightly elevated risk that a few rotating storms will be a possibility. For the rest of us, it's going to mainly be that straight line wind damaging wind gust threat. So here's how this plays out. Temperatures will quickly warm through the 50s this morning, the 60s this afternoon, back into the mid to upper 70s before the rain arrives. This is for that evening commute home, so this is when we really need to be weather aware. After about 5 p.m., this boundary is going to cross from Illinois into Indiana, moves closer to the metro between about 6 and 8 p.m., and then by midnight, that severe threat's going to start to wrap up. But this is when that cold front comes through, so near 60 at midnight, and then during the overnight hours, a major drop in temps. Some of us will even be in the 30s tomorrow morning. We'll be around 42 here in Indy, and then much cooler air for tomorrow with that potential. We could even see perhaps even a brief wintry mix late Thursday night with a few flurries lingering into Friday. So just some good old-fashioned spring weather for us here in central Indiana over the next 72 hours.
Well, a house belonging to Betty White has hit the market. The 3,600 square foot beach house in Carmel, California. That's not a beach house. That is a beach mansion,
Yes.
if I would ask me. The actress built the house with her husband, Alan London, shortly before he died back in 1981. The 4-bedroom home is set up to take advantage of the nature around it. It's got beautiful picturesque windows. You can see the beach. You have direct access to the beach. See, now, if you know California prices, I mean, I think at $8 million, just shy of $8 million.
Especially in Carmel.
In Carmel, it's kind of a steal. I mean, you know, look at those beautiful, I mean, you get to see the Pacific Ocean right there. I mean, that's nice.
Gorgeous.
I'm just kidding. I have no idea on California real estate, so I hear 8 million and I'm like, whoo.
And that is accurate.
Yes.
That is accurate. But all right, an English doodle named Annie Rose was just named the Cadbury Bunny. We're not kidding. It's an annual tradition. So this year we'll get to see a dog acting like a rabbit impersonating a chicken. So Annie Rose is a therapy dog from Ohio who spends her days visiting nursing homes. I love that. So in addition to being the Cadbury's big star for the season, Annie Rose, her owner, will get to take home $5,000 and apparently a little bunny ear to boot.
The funny thing is, I remember we were doing a story on like who all was in the running, like all of the animals, and there was like literally not one bunny at all.
No,
so I don't think
I think that's kind of the thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah, I'm trying to think of I think my money was on was it like a Komodo dragon or something like that? Or was it something
Remember that little
weird?
tiny,
yeah, the little cute thing we had to figure out. I can't think of the name of it right now, but I can't think of what it was. But hey, all right. So got a trend to tell you about. Have you heard about Orbeez? So they are these really little beads that are making a big stir online. So actually, if you search right now on TikTok, the Orbeez challenge, you'll find hundreds of videos, mostly young people shooting out these little pellets out of gel blasters or Orbeez guns. And so here's the problem, though, because a lot of people, you know, like, oh, they should be harmless, but it's actually turned into a dangerous trend because police across the country are warning you, hey, this might be a little dangerous. One Fisher's mom has even warning parents to beware after her daughter was hit, leaving bumps and bruises. And in more serious cases, 4 Pennsylvania teens are facing charges after finding these little pellets at a middle school. In Georgia, an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old hit in the face and very seriously injured there. So more cases like these are popping up across the country, and in some cases the charges range from assault to property damage. Now you're looking at this, you're like, now how do we get from like those little bouncy beads that you saw in the beginning of the video to like assault and battery charges and things like that? And here's why. So I bought some of the beads. to see like what everybody was talking about. So these are these tiny little beads, super soft. They're actually squishy when you touch them. So you're like, now how are these causing damage? And it's because people are freezing them. Can you see them? So you pop them in the freezer, I guess like overnight or for as long as you want to wait. And then you put them in an airsoft gun. And honestly, anything in an airsoft gun will harm you. But you put these beads that then become hard in an airsoft gun. And then the challenge is you want to like catch people like off guard, so like a sneak attack. So that's where you see like there's one Fisher's mom, her daughter was in the park playing with like friends, and a couple kids ran up and were just like shooting the guns, which should have been harmless, but they're obviously not, especially if you're not expecting. Because you do, what is that? The paintball, and like anybody that's played paintball, those things can kind of hurt.
Yeah,
that's
why
you
sting with those.
Exactly,
Sure.
and so you wear like the protective gear. You know that you don't wear short sleeves when you're going to be playing paintball. But for someone that's not expecting for you to just be like opening fire, so I had to actually look it up to see like what they're actually intended to be used for. And so I was searching a little bit on here. I've seen people make like giant stress balls, which I'm like, okay, that's creative. Someone made a centerpiece out of them and like drop the beads because they expand when you put them in water too. Made a centerpiece out of it. I've seen people doing like the kind of the ASMR videos where you just like listen to the sounds. So obviously something that started off completely innocent.
Right, and then leave it to 14-year-old boys
to find a way to like
figure
make
out
this.
We ought to freeze these suckers.
And then pelt them at people. Yeah.
Well, something we didn't talk about on the air too. I mean, you told us that they're putting them in these guns and spray painting these guns to look
That's a very big problem.
real.
Yeah. And so like we mentioned like this is happening. A couple different cases, serious cases around the country. But that is one of the things that all these local police departments are saying. Hey, please think this through, because they're playing. They want it to be as realistic as possible. So you get these airsoft guns. They're either some of them modifying them to make the pellets shoot out faster, but then spray painting them, you're right, to look like real guns.
Because the kid's gun has the orange on the tip and
the
orange on it.
And then most of these guns are like,
paint.
it's a hot pink or a bright yellow or something like that. You spray paint it black, and you're out doing this in the park, and you may have people hollering like, oh, you got me. But like, and so someone to a bystander or to police, if they're looking at this,
or someone who has a real gun,
or someone who has a real gun, it's just you just don't think that through.
There was a case, I can't remember the state it was in, but it was a young boy who had done that. A neighbor saw him firing what seemed to be a real gun in a park, so police arrived, and that didn't end well. But it's a very, police think of this as very serious.
Yes.
This isn't a teenage joke
and
to them.
You hate to be the bearer of bad news because you see these and you're like, that looks like it's so much fun and it's something that's totally innocent, but that is the point. Like it's a warning, like, hey, use them innocently, use them wisely. So for parents, if maybe you've bought these or like, you have the airsoft guns, just maybe talk to your kids about using them responsibly. So,
All right, sounds good.
Well, thanks for joining us here on Extra Shot of Sunrise, and enjoy the weather out there today. So once again, it's going to be nice until about what time? What time are these storms be coming in?
Right, windy, warmer. I would stay weather aware. Make sure you have that Live Droplet 13 weather app, because that's going to be able to give you those alerts right around the evening rush hour home. So 5 p.m. and beyond is kind of the target time zone. Yeah, for that severe threat.
Well, for Lindsay, Julia, and Jalea, I'm Carlos. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow, 4 a.m. bright and early on 13 Sunrise.